not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, it is so good to get to Friday and the first Saturday in May. Looking forward to what should be a great weekend. The most exciting 2 minutes in sports. I like to say I provide the most exciting 2 minutes from time to time, but this is with thoroughbreds in mind, and we've got plenty of them that we are going to talk about today. Have a little fun with it and invite some of our listeners to join in. Now, we invited Coach Campo to hang out with us today as Big Searcy is out. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you have the Taps music, JJ, right there where you can get to it, because Leon was so shook after what happened yesterday at the end of the mythical national championship that LI put together, and Miami went down in defeat to the Florida Gators. Leon was shook. He was knocked down. He didn't get back up. He had to take a day. He had to take a day just to get over it. And so we will miss him, but he will be here in spirit as the Gators are the mythical national championship of the LI-driven Sweet 16.
Take that mythical word out of there. Just they are real. The all-time national champions.
It is real. They are the lie champs, and
right.
it's. I think it's.
You're right.
The lie champs.
There is a lie.
That's great. They're the lie champs.
It's perfectly fitting that it's called the lie because it is Leon Intelligence, but the lie champs that they are. So, Coach Campo, I know you were traveling. We missed you earlier, and you might even say just something real quick, but you went back to your home state of Connecticut. You lost your mentor, your original coach, when you were a high school ball player, and so I'm sure it was the classic bittersweet, but still being able to go back and pay respects.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I haven't been back all that much to Mystic, Connecticut, and getting back there, I saw some friends. I actually at the funeral, I played for this coach.
Yeah,
My first coaching job was with him at New London High School, which was one of my favorites.
Nice.
And then he was 13 years older than I am.
Right.
He was still playing baseball in the Morgan Park League, which was a semi-pro league that I played. So I played with him and against him at one time.
Oh, that's cool.
In the deal.
Very nice.
That's pretty cool.
So we were able to the best part of it was I actually saw about 10 guys that I coached in 1970.
Wow.
Now, think about that.
Wow.
And obviously they loved, he was a state championship head coach for about 5 championships. So
pretty good.
He had some, the New London High School, those kids loved it, and they loved him. So
yeah, that's awesome. So I'm glad you were able to do that. You're back. You're ready to talk draft. Coach wanted to be able to drill down on Tuesday, as you know, Matt, with all the selections that the Jaguars had coming out of the draft. He was a big part of our draft coverage. So we are definitely going to do that with our head coach, Dave Campo, today. But we'll talk Kentucky Derby. We'll talk the NFL with the draft and the Jags. And then they got a rookie mini camp coming up. And then before you know it, OTAs, they'll be out on the grass, which will be exciting. And then, one thing that we'll get into a little bit today, the fifth-year option was picked up for Trayvon Walker, was not picked up for Devin Lloyd. And then this week is coming past, and the deadline is here before actually I knew it. I always thought we were going into May before we had to get all these fifth-year options either locked in or basically teams decide to take a pass on them, and it's all done as of yesterday. So we're going to run through those a little bit today. We definitely talked about our depth chart yesterday, so, Coach, you might jump in on that. You and I did our stream show on the social channels earlier today, and we looked at some of those starting positions, so we will definitely get into that today for sure. All right, so when we talk about the Kentucky Derby, it is one of the coolest events that you only pay attention to when it's time to pay attention to it. You don't pay attention to this sport hardly at all, except when you hear that Derby horn and you hear well, you think of the masses in Louisville, Kentucky, Churchill Downs when they get ready, the Run for the Roses, all that stuff. And then if something really cool happens, you come back for another couple of minutes with the Preakness in 2 weeks' time at Pimlico. And then if something really special happens, then you might tune in for the Isn't it crazy that horse racing used to be, what was it called? The sport of kings?
Right.
Boxing and horse racing. And this is, unless you have something special, and the sport was just begging for Triple Crown runners to show up. They finally got them, and then they actually got them in a very short period of time. But this is the only time we pay attention.
I mean, let's be honest. It's a lot like the NCAA tournament. It's gambling.
No, it's not.
It's gambling.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, like college basketball is not really that popular in the regular season, but when the tournament hits, bang.
See, this is where you and I disagree on that. Because first off, we're talking about we only peer in to.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
It's a much shorter window. I totally get that. But my point is, the reason why I think it's intriguing to many people is because of gambling.
Oh, it's 100% because of gambling. But my only answer back though is that people know, are very aware of the stars. They've watched, a lot of people have watched Cooper Flagg and a lot of these guys throughout the year, even though you may not. A lot of people do.
I do. But my point is, I guess I try and compare it to the NFL and college football, which probably isn't fair. It probably isn't fair, obviously.
Well, it's a tradition. It's a tradition. Yeah, that's really the thing.
I think it's a lot like the idea of, okay, we are so invested in those two sports, the NFL and college football. We are so deep in the deep end with those two sports. Then you get to college basketball, and it's very shallow until the tournament. And then the tournament, you're right back in that deep end.
Yeah. And I do think more and more, Coach, the way things have unfolded, especially in our college sports world, NIL is going to keep a lot of guys there a little bit longer. And I know Cooper Flagg was going pro the whole time, but at least he sat back and thought about it a little bit. And you're going to get guys that are going to get nice multi-million-dollar paydays to come back, and that'll help the sport. It'll boost it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And really, I'm that way with pro basketball. To be honest with you, I love pro basketball when it gets into the playoffs.
Right? So do I. Same
but
thing.
during the season, I don't really, really watch all
That's
that
me,
much.
too,
But in deference to what Joe said, I do know some of the players. In other words, if I hear a guy's name, I might not have watched him very much, but you know him. Whereas the horse racing business, I actually was into it a little bit younger because one of my players at Washington State ended up the president of the Preakness.
Oh, very
so
cool.
I did follow it for a while,
neat.
but then once he left, that was it. So
I was going to say, if he's still there, can you help?
No,
us up,
he's not.
Right.
He's
We
not
need a little help.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
that's a long time ago now. This. I was in Washington State in 1976.
Okay.
So that'll tell you that
That's
it's
something,
a long
though.
time ago.
But it's funny, I told Coach that we were gambling on this, and he goes, oh, yeah, you're just trying to pry a lunch out of me.
Yeah.
I said, get ready, Coach, we're doing it. And so we'll do a little snake draft. And
He's already got info on it, too, I guarantee.
Oh, yeah, he's got it all. It's broken
This is
down.
all NFL stuff, but I guarantee there's horses in there somewhere.
And so Big Searcy, as much as the research he did, I said, hey, Big, I said, we're going to do a snake draft. I said, so give me your best horses. Give me some choices. He came back with 3 of them. I'm like, well, we got a snake draft, which means you need more. And he came back with 3 more like in 1 second. He goes, I got no problem. I'm just going to throw names at you or numbers at you. So JJ played that Derby horn. Whenever you hear it, we're going to take 2 or 3 more. I'll show you our little Derby prize pack from the good folks at Best Bet. You hear them all the time on 1010 and especially on the Francis Show. But they gave us a nice little prize pack to give away. So whenever he does fire the Derby horn, then all you have to do, it'll take 2 or 3 of you, and you're looking for your best finishing total among your 3 horses that you choose. And it's probably the easiest just to call JJ and say, I'll take the 6 post, the 9 post, and 13, whatever you choose to do. Yeah.
That's what everyone did yesterday, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we're looking for, and we'll have a little fun with it.
And unfortunately, our boy Rodriguez was scratched yesterday after the show.
I'm busted about that.
One of Bob Baffert's horses replaced another, though.
Yeah, because I threw Rodriguez up there yesterday when we were talking with Dick Girardi, and I really liked it, and I was kind of locked in. It's like I'm definitely plugging that in as one of my in the money horses. So Rodriguez is out. They bring another one in, and then another one scratches. So we're down to a 19-horse
Which is still so many, man.
Yeah, that's very true.
Who's so many horses for a normal race.
Grande.
Is it Grande?
Grande.
Yeah.
Grande.
Yeah. And so Grande's out. What do you call it? Rodriguez was replaced. Grande's out, but was not replaced. And so it's, I don't know how
I'm still looking at a 20-horse field right here.
No. At least they did update it because I'm looking at a 19 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Okay.
yeah, that's just the way it goes. I guess they get certain rules as far as they keep them in their same post position number, even though they move them over. And so you'll see 19 that will come out of the gates, but they won't change the post position. Which is kind of interesting.
There's no 9 here. No gate 9.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You're right.
So, all right, Coach, one of our texters, XL Primetimers, you guys are more than welcome. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. He says, our class went to Mystic Seaport for our field trip.
Yeah. Well, that's the big thing about Mystic. You know, it was an old whaling village.
Yeah.
And they have a museum, but it's an entire recreated village.
Yeah.
Like it looked. It's got the big ships in there. It's got, you name it, it's in there.
I thought you meant
fantastic.
for the pizza.
Well, that pizza's good too. That
it really?
brought them. Well,
Mystic
that
Pizza.
was,
But the movie from the 80s.
the Mystic Pizza
wasn't bad.
brought it, but mostly people from around the world have come to the Mystic Seaport.
Well, it's funny. TLD and I talk about it from time to time. We're going to go up there, and we're either going to go
Are
back
there
to
healing powers there? What's the
This
thing
is
with it?
weird. Why is it called Mystic?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have the faintest idea.
probably
Now,
the
is it
original.
the same Mystic River that's from the movie Mystic River, but that's like a Boston movie? Am I wrong about that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different
and
thing,
really,
yeah.
to be honest with you, I hate to break people's thoughts on this, but the Mystic Pizza that's Mystic Pizza in Mystic is not the Mystic Pizza that they did in the movie.
in the movie.
Okay, you got to stop saying mystic because it's going to lose meaning for me.
All I
I hear
know-
it like 3 more times, I'm going to start saying it in my head. And
All I know is that we were talking about going up there, and I was mainly interested in the casino. That's not that
well,
far
that's
away
right
from
around
there.
the corner.
shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely in on
Foxwoods and
that.
Mohegan Sun.
Mystically, he
going
lost
up there.
lots of money.
Yeah, and so real quick, just as far as the Matt element of this is concerned, because he goes, if you keep saying it again, I'm gonna be locked in. JJ sent us a video, which was just absolutely hilarious, and you can find it. I'll find it, retweet it. But I don't even know who was given permission to do this. It had to have just been straight up Churchill Downs that did this. Anyway, they put a bunch of seniors.
No, I sent it to JJ.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They put a bunch of seniors in the actual post in the gates.
So,
I don't know what track it was at.
Yeah.
It
I
could
don't
have been
either,
anywhere.
I don't
in
either, but it's
America.
beyond
you're right.
hilarious.
And they're all like 65 and up, I feel like. And immediately as the gates go, like 3 of them instantly fall over. And then one has like an early lead. They only run like 400, 500 feet, something like that.
One guy blew his Achilles.
Oh, yeah. There's a guy who has he's a pace setter, and he literally falls on his face.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know
funniest
how many
thing I've
times I've
seen.
watched it, but every time I watch it, I see something different.
Yeah, and
And
when
I'm
you
laughing at something else.
when you say you don't know how many times you've watched it, that, ladies and gentlemen,
the
is
truth.
not an exaggeration. Okay?
Man has a problem.
Yeah, he will lock in on something. That's for sure. All right, so let's just get into the draft with our head coach, because this is Coach's first chance to kind of talk to Ala Duval about what he liked, what he might have been thinking, and could have done this versus that. We'll get into all that coming up. It is XL Primetime, a Florida Home AC Friday. They are the official AC partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars. They could be your partner as well. Just log on, FloridaHomeAC.com, especially right now before it gets way too dang hot to get that tune-up. Keep your AC working right with Florida Home AC.
Dan Hicken
Your mother tells me you're going to do one of your little comedy skits tomorrow.
and Jeff Prosser.
Why are we always yelling?
60% of the time, they talk sports all the time.
Newspapers are full of stories about him.
They are The Drill. Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Hey, Hicken
in here or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
It's your main man E.T. and Monday is Cinco de Mayo at Twin Peaks with a costume party on May 5th. Specials on tequilas, cervezas, and even wine. And I'm hearing the servers are going to bring the spicy costumes too. Twin Peaks for Cinco de Mayo, where the party gets spicy.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
The aroma, flavor, the bliss. Nothing matches a great cigar, and now you can indulge yourself with My Father's Cigars. Come to Tobacco Cove on Saturday, May 3rd from 1 to 4 p.m. for an incredible cigar event featuring food, drinks, and specials on cigars. This is your chance to embrace the joy of My Father's Cigars at Tobacco Cove on Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience. Scholar athletes don't just score on the field, they also excel in the classroom.
That's why 1010XL salutes the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show, brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080. St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Visit sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
Leon Searcy here. Let's be real. I used to eat like a lineman because I was one. And man, those habits are hard to break. I needed help to stop with the munchies and lose weight. But now, I'm bringing sexy back. I call Physician Guided Weight Loss. Their medical team is helping me shed pounds safely with a custom plan to help me slim down. And their firm pricing means same price every month. Hey, you want to bring sexy back? Visit Physician Guided Weight Loss at pgweightloss.com. ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Is your office productivity running at full speed? Advanced Business Solutions has the solution with Xerox copiers. Whether you need high volume printing, scanning, or secure document management, Xerox copiers deliver efficiency, quality, and innovation. With features like cloud integration and mobile printing, Xerox is perfect for any modern office. Let ABS help you streamline your workflow. Veteran-owned, Advanced Business Solutions.
Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Hanging out on a beautiful Friday. Hopefully everybody's having a good end to the week, and then you head into the weekend. Should be a fun one, that's for sure. We will throw out that Derby horn in just a bit, get you lined up with some thoroughbreds for it's the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. So we'll be looking at that. Let's talk some draft with our head coach, Dave Campo. He's right alongside us today. Matty Hayes, Joe C., JJ. We're missing Big Search today. Needed to take I'm pretty sure it was called a mental health day after what happened with
Is that
the
what they
Canes.
call that?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And so he had to take it. And so he will be back on Monday. But he did put his picks in for the Derby. So we will definitely get to that coming up in just a bit. In the 3 o'clock hour, about an hour from now, we'll say hello to Neil Brown, who was the head coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers. And he coached up Wyatt Milam. And so we're going to get at least a real feel for what he's thinking about a guy that had a ton of starts in a Mountaineer uniform and now gets to be part of the Jags. So, Matt, Leon, we all went through it, Coach. Big picture, whole draft class, what did you think?
Well, my first impression is that when you look at this draft, and I looked at all of them, and I watched them on highlight tapes. You know, we don't look at the same tape, obviously, as the coaches do.
Right.
So you're looking at highlights. But the thing that stuck out me the most is that Gladstone and Cohen and Baselli made a big point about intangibles. And, you know, there's a lot of intangibles. It's physicality, toughness, love the game, and one of them is speed. So when you look at those things, I felt that the entire draft, they came with what they said they were going to do. Yeah. And obviously talent has to be a part of that. I am overly optimistic, as I always am. But when I look at the talent of this group and the intangibles, it's a pretty darn good-looking draft, in my opinion. So you know, as we get going, we'll talk about guys, but I like it overall.
I think one of the guys, actually both sides of the ball, that I think you can't help but lock in on speed-wise is Bashal Tootin, who is a low 4.3 guy, and then Caleb Ransaw, who is a low 4.3 guy. And both of them bring a skill set that is much needed. Ransaw, at least in most people's minds, is one of the more physical, quick, strong, good tackling guys in the draft. And then Tootin, I told Coach earlier, I don't know what any of these draft analysts really truly know, Matt. Some of them, they all do their work. I just don't know which one of them know more than the other. But anyway,
Edholm knows what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, Edholm. Yeah, I'd love to hear what. But
Ryan Wilson, we'll give those two.
Yeah, those guys are solid. And Trapasso's a guy who would pop on with Hacker, and he does a good job as well. He's in the CBS Sports pile. Anyway, he called Tootin his RB2 ahead of Amari and Hampton from North Carolina, which was interesting. Yeah. And so we will see. But he was right there in a lot of conversations as far as that, you know, what type of guy does he bring to you talent-wise?
Well, I like Tootin, and the reason I like Tootin is, number one, he runs fast. You know, he's a home run hitter. He can hit it. I think that he's a microcosm in a way of Genty. He's built like Genty. And he's got that kind of speed, and he does break tackles. And watching that highlight tape, you know, they didn't have that great a line at West Virginia.
Right.
I mean, at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
They didn't have that good a line, and yet you see him bouncing off tackles and running through people. So, you know, I like the pick, especially where they got him. You know, he was all the experts said third or fourth round. Well, 104 he was 104, right?
Yeah, he was fourth round.
104 is third round to me. I mean, it's the start of the fourth, but I think they hit him at the right spot.
Right. All right. So when you think of him, he immediately can come in and provide some competition. When they made a couple of these decisions, and we're going to get to the other draft picks, but when they make those types of decisions, the guard and the running back, third and fourth round, they're signaling that position group, hey, get ready. You got to compete, pal.
Absolutely. And I think that it goes that way all the way through the draft.
Yeah.
And that when you get to the back end of the draft, traits come into play, but still competition is part of it, and I think that, they overall, again, I'll say this, not speaking to specifics, but I thought that they did what they tried to do through the whole draft.
Okay, so this is we talked about this earlier this week, and I think it needs to be fleshed out a little bit. I honestly do, is you drafted Tootin that high in the draft. He's going to play. Yeah. So who's he taking carries from? ETN or Tank?
Yeah, that's a solid question,
right? I mean, because Joe said, well, he's got special teams, and I agree with him. He can play on special teams, but you drafted him to run the ball.
Yeah,
Allen more special teams than Tootin.
Right. So that's kind of my thing is, have we?
Tootin's compete.
Is this the roster, or maybe they try and move ETN?
Yeah,
before camp.
Yeah. I think that's a valid question. And I think the biggest thing is that, in my opinion, they don't think that there's like Joe just said, they don't think that certain aspects of this team are good enough.
Right.
They're not their guys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I don't know whether it's Bigsby. Bigsby is, doesn't have that kind of juice. ETN has proven that he's been a little bit inconsistent in what he's been able to do. I think they're bringing him in to compete and have a chance to play,
and if
just like
else,
you. Yeah. But it's also an indictment on the position. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it also could be they're going to wait till after the mini camp.
Yeah.
And then once you see how these guys compete a little bit in the mini camp,
absolutely,
then you get an idea of where you are.
Yeah, he could be moved. There's no doubt about that. He could be moved. But more than anything else, this is renewing the roster and starting a new clock.
Yeah.
Because you are,
yes,
if at the very least, you're saying goodbye 17, 18, 19 games. Let's just be positive here with Travis Etienne from now.
Yeah.
You're saying goodbye. And then you got Tank, and you may have Tootin, and so they're looking at that room. Bucky Irvin came in last year, did not take over for Rashad White right away.
Right.
But he dang sure took control of that running back room as the season unfolded.
I mean, if you trade him, what could you get for him? Could you get a fifth?
I don't know. That's probably where it starts.
That's max, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's max, right?
And someone's eating his contract.
Right, which is good.
But that's going to be hard to get somebody to do. Not saying it won't.
No, but I mean, the Bears ate that contract and gave the Jags a fourth for.
Yeah.
That was a quarterback. That was a quarterback, obviously.
Right, totally different.
Nick Foles, but still.
I personally would rather see
deal.
Such a dumb deal.
The Bears, thank you.
I would personally rather see Tootin have an opportunity than Bigsby, to be perfectly honest with you, because I think Bigsby is a specific type of a back, whereas this guy is got the traits that they thought that ETN would have, explosive,
But then who's your move the pile runner then?
Well, I think Bigsby.
Yeah,
but
I'm
talking about as a featured back.
Right.
I think this guy has a better chance in that aspect than Bigsby does, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and like I said, that he can cook now as far as speed goes, and so that's a big deal. All right, since we're talking running backs, ukulele, JJ, if you don't mind. It puts me in a good mood. Oh, it's so good. We just sit back. We just listen to the musical ukulele for you on a Friday. We go from the Atlantic to Pacifico with a little Perfecto. Delicious Mexican lager found in Baja, imported by surfers for those who live life. Anchors up. Enjoy a Pacifico over the weekend.
And we got Cinco de Mayo coming.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do on Monday. I think Dos de Mayo today is worth starting the holiday.
I was about to say that calls for some beers.
It also looks like Joe enjoys doing that commercial more than any other commercial that he does.
I do, man. My toes are up by the time I finish that liner. I just love it. All right, I need 2 running backs last year that went over the 1,000-yard mark in rushing and over the 500-yard mark in receiving.
Ooh.
Wow.
2 in the NFL.
College.
Oh, in college?
Yeah.
Went over 1,000 yards rushing and over 500 receiving.
Yeah. And we're talking RFBS level, okay? So.
Okay.
Wow. I got no chance.
1,000 yards rushing.
I'm guessing one of them is Bayshell Tootin.
500 yards receiving.
I'm going to say the other is...
Who's the guy from SMU that used to play at Miami? Smith?
No, SMU used like 3 different backs last year. Couldn't be them. 1,500, huh?
Yep. 1K on the ground, 500 through the air.
Wow. Oh, who's the Indiana back? All right, I'm gonna say Travion Henderson.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you guys out.
All right.
Okay. You said that one of them's got to be Bayshell, right? Because we're talking about him. No.
No.
The one
Because that's
is,
usually what you do, by the way.
Right. Of course. But the one that is pretty obvious is our man, Cam Scattaboo.
I was going to say Scattaboo, actually.
Okay. Scattaboo went over $1,000 on the ground, and he went over 500 yards rushing. The other one, you're thinking, well, Genty, that guy was crushing it, right? No. It was LeKent Allen of your Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Out of Syracuse, 1,021 yards rushing.
There was some kind of Jag connection.
500.
That's what you do.
Hey, listen, if you have all the clues, you ought to be able to drill down on this bad boy.
I should have done that. You're right.
So 521 in the air, 1,021 on the ground. So that at least gets us real quick, Coach, to that guy as well. This is the special teamer that we're talking about.
Right.
And a third down guy in LeKent Allen.
Yeah, that's what I see him as. Watching him, he is really good out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
But even more importantly than that, he is a great protector. And let me tell you, you talk about protecting this guy, this big guy that we got at quarterback.
Yep.
It's not just up front. You know, the backs are critical.
Yes.
And so, you know, I can see him possibly in that role. Now, you know, do we have a third down back?
Not really.
I think that's what Tootin might be.
Yeah. Well, no, LeKent might be too.
It might be too. Who knows?
For the practice squad.
The one thing about Tootin, is that he did improve this year in his blocking.
Mm-hmm.
That was not his strength at the beginning, but listening to the people there.
Right.
So, you know, it may be him. But, you know, hey, we don't have a third down back.
Well, I said this to Coach on our stream show that Fran Brown from the University of Georgia went up to Syracuse, and he made Kyle McCord a draftable target. A guy that people were interested in. LeKent Allen's another one of those guys. He turned up the wick offensively. Program record, single season record, 64 catches for LeKent.
Yeah.
That's pretty dang good. Yeah, and so here's a guy, and Keelan Robinson, he may be the odd man out. They're going to carry 4 running backs, at least you would think. This dude's got a chance. He may not be game day dressing, but he's got a chance. We'll just see how it goes. But, yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that. Just another guy, versatile, speed-wise, can get the job done. Yep. All right, so just a little factoid for your Jacksonville Jaguars to chew on.
We're going to see Fran Brown, too, next month at Amelia Island, ACC meetings.
Hope so. He's a good one. He's done well up there.
He's I think if Hugh Freeze doesn't get it done, I think you might see Fran Brown as your next Auburn coach.
At Auburn. Yeah. Because he's cut from the Kirby cloth, and he is a dang good recruiter. I was going to say relentless, but a dang good recruiter.
I think you can say relentless.
Yeah, he does. He understands.
He was relentless for Kirby, too.
Yeah. He understands how it goes. And by the way, the Cuse fans out there listening, just say, don't try and steal Fran Brown from us, okay?
Well, that's happening.
The fighting Trescas and the Sinclairs and all of them, the Persons, all of them out there all fired up. All right, so we're going to stay on the draft with our head coach. Fire that derby horn, JJ, okay? So we go into the commercial break, 641-1010. JJ is looking for your top 3 picks. Just give him post position numbers. You go in the drawing. Whoever has the best finishing total, we'll hook you up with our nice little prize pack. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get the bag from Best Bet right now just so we can show off on YouTube so you can see what you're getting. We say thanks to them, big 1010XL supporters.
More Jaguars, more prep sports, more Gators, more Knowles, more Dogs, more golf. Plus original podcasts from your favorite 1010XL personalities. 1010XL.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent crashes and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Looking for a fun-filled evening that the whole family can enjoy? Discover the thrill of indoor football, a fast-paced, action-filled sport where excitement meets family fun. Check out your hometown Sharks on Saturday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. Ask about our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Owl's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. Go Sharks!
Prosser here. The Sharks look to get back in winning form this Saturday while you enjoy a fun-filled evening. Ask about our family 4-packs, 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Owl's Pizza gift card, all for only $100. Discover the thrill of indoor football, fast-paced, action-filled, family fun, and check out our hometown Sharks Saturday, May 3rd, kickoff 7 o'clock at the ViStar Memorial Arena. For tickets and the family 4-pack information, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700.
Go Sharks! Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 2nd, 1968, in the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 4-2, winning their 10th NBA championship.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Grow your hair back. IHRS offers the latest technology in hair transplants and restorative treatments.
Fast, easy, and effective.
With over 35 years' experience, our team is committed to delivering exceptional results. Hair restoration is for us, and it can be for you too.
See how IHRS technology can grow your hair back. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS, 777-4477 for $250 off.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. Did you hear? JEA is raising rates again. With summer right around the corner, those power bills are only going to go up. But with solar, you can take control of energy costs and say goodbye to rising rates. At Clay Solar, we make switching easy and affordable. Stop paying more for power and own it. Visit claysolar.com to schedule a consultation today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, we got the good captain chiming in. He's willing to trade fish to get in the contest for a trifecta pick with our Kentucky Derby contest. The best bet, Maddie, hold that up for the YouTube audience. You just got a nice big bag from Best Bet. Inside there, all sorts of cool stuff.
Grab bag.
Yeah, it's a nice
Swag
grab bag. You got all sorts of cool things in
The
there.
bag in itself is a great beach bag.
Yes, yes.
It's really sturdy canvas too. Yeah.
And I'm was trying to get my buddy Breakthrough Wombles to maybe come up with some brown water to drop in there too.
Oh.
That might happen. I'm not sure yet, but that might happen. But anyway, we got that as a nice little prize bag. JJ, you got a handful. Just signed up with their. All they did was give you 3 post positions, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. 3:00 hour coming up.
We got something we can add in there. You never know, right?
Yeah.
We may or may not have a half-eaten Starbucks jelly bean bag that you brought in.
Matt, you could throw in an issue of USA Today.
Hold up that Jack's hat, though, because it's got JX and teal.
I love that hat.
It's a
That's
sweet
beautiful. I'd like to have that
hat.
one myself.
Right there, yeah. Look at that. That is sweet, along with all the other stuff in there.
Look how good it would look on your
Oh,
head.
that'd
Look
be
at that.
looking good. Right.
Coach would look good. All right. Okay. So we got that. We'll do our draft. We're just going to pull 4 numbers out, a little snake draft. Whoever goes first, go through 1 through 4, then we'll go right back up with a snake draft. Coach, you're in. You're going to be in. All right. So let's get to a couple of other guys for you to break down. Other guys that when you look at your sheet, who else did you? All right. I want you to do this first. The decision to go instead of Xavier Watts, a highly decorated safety from Notre Dame, was considered to be one of those players that's going to be late second, early third. Bottom line is they go with Caleb, and they make a decision to go with a guy that they think can grow in to a starting safety instead of a guy who had been playing safety. So they go Ransaw over Watts. Give us some reasons why, because I got clobbered on X. He's going to be the same. Haven't seen him play safety yet. I hope it works out. But, yeah, give us some reasons.
Well, first of all, I really love the pick, and let me tell you why I love the pick. It reminds me, not size, it reminds me of Darren Woodson that we had in Dallas back in the day, who should be in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Ring of Honor. He was a guy that came in as a will linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking for a big safety, and we were going to move him to safety. Well, he comes in, he starts at nickel for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ransom is an outstanding nickel player.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the corner ability, quickness. That's not his number one thing,
right?
Being a true corner, but he has the corner traits. He's great against the run. He's very physical. He supports the run without question. So you say, okay, he played nickel, right? He also was a guy that going into the season, the coach said to him, look, we need you to play nickel rather than playing elsewhere.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He knew that was going to be less of a statistics, which is what happened to Woodson. He played nickel for us initially, and statistically, that's probably why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because the interceptions are not there. Right. So they take him, and he says, I'll play nickel. I just want to win. He doesn't care about the statistics. That's the kind of guy they're bringing into this program. Well, let me tell you the real.
He's intangibly rich, is what you're saying.
You are not kidding. And let me just say this. He is no-brainer to move to safety.
Okay.
If they play a 3-deep scheme, he's a strong safety. That's what he is.
And he walks up and he is physical at the line.
He is proven. He's a great tackler. He's very physical, and he's got instincts to find the ball. That's number one. Number two, if they play a too-high safety, that's the move that Woodson made. If they play a too-high safety, it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Because those two guys in a quarters coverage, which I consider not just cover two now where you're playing halves of the field.
Right.
But you're playing quarters, that's a coverage safety. That's a guy that once the guy gets down the field, they have to cover. He's got corner skills.
Okay.
And he supports from there. Now, Woodson, where the negative is you don't know what he's going to do as far as interceptions, because he hasn't been back there. You don't know what his ball awareness is.
Okay.
But he has instincts to play the game, and that's what Woodson had. Couple that with, if he does play a two-deep scheme where they're playing true cover two with his two deep safeties, he runs 4-3.
Yeah. He can
cover ground.
It's at this point in the program where I feel like I have to be the guy that, is not completely July Joe.
Yeah.
He looks, to me, a lot like Andre Sisco coming out of college. I thought Sisco would be that type of player. A guy that can bring it, he can physically bring it, and he can run. And Sisco never became that type of player. Now, to be fair to Sisco, I mean, honestly, at some point we're going to have to, address this. The last two guys as defensive coordinators?
Yeah.
It's got to be kidding me.
Right. The players did not develop. At least I think coaches, the longtime defensive coordinator, would be the first to either say that or confirm it. But the other part of it is that Sisco was a free. This guy's viewed as a hitting, more strong safety.
No, I get that, but Sisco's also a guy that could bring it. Could have played strong, easy. Yeah. And I still think that if he's coached properly, I think Sisco could be a good player in the league. Yeah, I do. I really do. So I guess my point is, let's hope that Campanile and that defensive staff can get these guys to develop. Not only the guys they've drafted, but the guys that are there now. Yeah. I think there are so many guys in that field, Dave, and you know this. That potentially could be really good players. I think Tyson Campbell can be a top 5 corner. Trayvon Walker, I think, is still only scratched his potential. He's had back-to-back 10.5 sack seasons.
I agree with you. I mean, when you go through 2 seasons in a row where they couldn't play a bunch route, there's some coaches involved in that. That's not playing. Okay, but to me, the difference between Ransaw and Sisco is that Sisco cannot cover.
Right.
I'm talking about cover.
But we didn't know that until it played out.
Exactly.
He looked like he could cover in college.
Yeah, but in reality, he was more of a free safety. And that's what he is. This guy's not a free safety in my mind. This guy is a coverage support.
He's jumping on the tight ends, what you're telling me.
And he can play, vertical routes. He's got speed to go vertical. The problem is, as a corner, you have to have all kinds of different skills. Right?
Yeah.
He's really not, that's not his strength. But as far as, the guys that run vertical against those safeties are guys that have been rerouted or hit with people on the way up. So it's just ability to run and do those things. And I think he's got those skills. Yeah. Now, again, it's going to be a competition. There's a lot of safeties. I don't know what kind of guys we got, but I think this kid has got a chance to make that move without question, in my mind.
So that guy could step in, and we will see once we get through the rookie mini camp, get an idea of which one of these guys is true, legit. But are you going to move him in, like Eric Murray and him back there, or how are you looking at that? How are you viewing that?
I think it's a competition. I think when you take a guy in the 3rd round,
he has to start.
Matt said it right here. They're going to put him out there right away.
He has to start.
Well, okay, let's just remind everybody, Darnell Savage was signed as a free agent, and people said he has to start.
Yeah.
Murray was signed as a free agent.
But
he has to start.
But Savage did, and he didn't play well last year.
Right, but they're all competing.
It's a competition for sure.
Yeah.
But
I would be shocked if he doesn't start.
Yeah.
Shocked.
This team's just beginning the ascent.
No, I know that.
Okay,
I know that. And I'm saying I'd be shocked he wouldn't start because not only because they spent a 3rd rounder on him, but because he's their guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's their guy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And
I'm with you.
Yeah, they've signed a free agent starter over the other free agent starter, and we still don't know exactly how it's going. Well, actually,
now to your point, Antonio Johnson may come in and just ball out.
Right, we don't know.
And then you got to play him. Which is fine. They're okay with that.
They've already signed 2 starters in free agency when they went and got Jordan Lewis and went and got Murray. Now Murray is he's a stopgap guy for a year.
Yes,
that's basically what he is. He's good. He's not panning him, but. They're going to compete.
I mean, for all intents, Jordan Lewis could be a stopgap guy for a year too.
Yeah, a little bit younger, but
he easily could be. All right, now we got our guy in there.
Yeah. I think they're bringing him in, Coach, just as far as the nickel is concerned, for him to lock that position down for a couple years.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Lewis thinks he can play. Talking about Lewis.
Yeah.
He thinks he can play anywhere.
Right.
I'm sure this kid thinks he can play anywhere too.
Yeah, to me,
but his strength is as a slot player. I'm talking about Lewis.
Yeah.
And he's going to start there. There's no doubt in my mind.
And the reason why he thinks he can play anywhere is because he's done it in the NFL.
Yeah.
The other guy thinks he can do it in the NFL.
I mean, I think it's more prevalent on defense. On offense, I think you kind of know what you've got.
Correct.
And you've got Liam Cohen there who can draw plays, call plays, and get you in position as long as you can protect your quarterback. Defensively, I don't think you know what you have, actually. Because I think you've got guys like Antonio Johnson that, if they're coached properly, might develop into a star.
Yeah, he was
Jarian Jones, same thing.
Yeah,
we have
Jarian's
no
a
idea
example.
what these guys are because they've been coached so poorly the last 2 years.
Yeah, and the way the rotation worked, the way the instruction worked, everything, just in terms of handling coverage and pass offs and all this stuff, it was deplorable.
Right. Here's another one. I mean, you guys might laugh, but I mean, before Devon Hamilton got sick, he was potentially going to be a pretty good player, man.
Yeah. He was grown man strong, and I would like to have seen him return to that, unfortunately.
Maybe maybe some. Again, these are a lot of maybes and a lot of ifs, and I sound a lot like July Joe.
Yeah.
But to me, there's so much of the unknown on the defense right now.
I named them the Jacksonville ifs way back, and so I would love for it to no longer be that.
I think Mason Smith's in that same category.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course. How could he not be? Yes.
There's a lot to be seen with that group. I just hope that it's not, hockey.
Oh, yeah, the shifts. Yeah, let's make it the 10-10 take right now because, those things need to change dramatically.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Oh, you can chew on a rib while you're trying to debate this bad boy, trying to figure out who's going to be what for this football team. But know this, they've been around for a long time, decades and decades, serving up great barbecue. So drop on by any one of your area Sonny's. Take advantage of that big deal, $7, pork and rib combo, outstanding value. Check it out. All right, so the pass-offs, they got to be gone, okay? They got to be a thing of the past. The hockey shifts, thing of the past. They have got to figure out ways to not only draft better, but make players better, more accountable, more physical, faster, all that stuff that you guys have been dreaming of. I'm going to rename, I already have named James Gladstone Harry Potter, but I also will add another nickname to him. He will be James Gladstones if some of these picks that he made, okay, because the stones that he showed in the draft to move up to get Travis Hunter, to be confident enough where he could move out of 70 and pick up 2 third-round picks from Detroit the following year. He showed some serious stones. So James Gladstone's tip of the cap to you, bro, but make sure this coaching staff does their job with the personnel that you went and got. That's the 10-10 take. That's the other half of this equation. You know it is. You were charged with that. Make these players better, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it shows that he had a process and he was going to do it. And it's like I said earlier, he knew they had down what type of players they were going to have in here, period. Mm-hmm. And you hope that and this is the hope. And, watching highlight tapes doesn't guarantee that a guy's going to be
hope is not a
who
plan,
you think
Dave.
he is. But the hope is that the athletic ability matches the intangibles.
Yes, of course.
That's the key. And then the coaching staff has to enter into that. I will say this. In all my coaching career, I loved the first year, second year, and third year players.
Yeah.
Because they're
the most
moldable.
growth.
They're moldable.
And it's the most growth, right?
Yeah,
Those first 3
exactly.
years,
They're the most. It's like a kid. A 5-year-old learns everything that he's going to know when he's 5 years old. You can mold those guys, and if they do a good job with that, I have a lot of confidence in Milam. Not Milas, not Milam. Milas, the safety coach for the Jags now. Been in the league for 30 years. Had some great players. I believe he's going to do a good job with that Ransaw kid. Okay. That's why I'm even more excited about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I do believe, and I always love telling this story. Leon's got great stories about what made him and who influenced him. while Coach was here in Jacksonville under Jack Del Rio, told Rasheem Mathis, you do this, you do that, you're going to be a Pro Bowler, bro. And he turned him into a Pro Bowler because Rasheem had everything you wanted to see in a player,
Absolutely.
right?
It's traits.
And then just get him in the right direction.
Can you get over there and work with Jarian Jones? Can you do that?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell?
I love what Jarian represents, honestly.
Yeah, I love Jarian Jones. I think he's going to be a player. It's just got to be in the right spot.
Yeah, I don't
like
disagree.
You
he falls.
saying some of the guys that are here.
He falls into that category of we don't really know what they have.
And Hottie Toddy Prince, DeAndre, he's got a chance this coming year to turn into something.
And Jarian has the traits that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The intangible rich traits.
Yeah.
He made a huge play down at the goal line when they needed it. They didn't, and they stalled that Vikings offense for a long, long time in that ball game, and he was responsible.
I will say this: this isn't going to be a situation where they work with existing guys. Like if it doesn't happen quickly, they're going to their guy.
Yeah. Oh, they're moving on.
Like they're moving to Kaiser, middle linebacker. They don't care about Devin Lloyd. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. They're moving on.
Yeah, 100% on that. All right, into the 3 o'clock hour. JJ, you ready for our snake draft? We'll do it coming up.
I'm born ready.
All right, I know that.
You and I.
Yeah. So we're going to do our little snake draft. We'll give you at least another chance before the day is done to hear that Derby horn and get in our contest. And we say thanks to Best Bet for hooking us up with a nice prize pack. But we got some picks to make coming up in the 3 o'clock hour.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
The ball comes out and it's picked up. The Jags are going to run it into the end zone. Josh Allen scores a touchdown.
1010XL.
The Jags are going to win.
Home of the Jaguars.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Denny Thompson here. You've got to check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I can stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Free Comic Book Day. Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop, inviting you to the Community Party of the Year, Saturday, May 3rd. Free comics, free food, huge discounts, and more. Let's take Free Comic Book Day to the limit. Gotham City Limit.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on three, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. Waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the duck.
Neck pain, back pain, or headache? Shinatri Chiropractic has 4 locations: Westside, 103rd, Riverside, Arlington, and the Beaches. Acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy. Relief starts today. Shinatri Chiropractic, 743-6700.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Join us at Miller Electric May 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. We're on the lookout for talented people from entry level to experienced electricians and foremen, security system installation and service technicians, fire alarm system service technicians, and both senior and junior VDV technicians. This is your chance to get hired on the spot. Meet the managers, indulge in delicious food, and snag some awesome giveaways. Don't miss out on this electrifying chance to power up your career. Miller Electric, May 29th, 4 to 7 p.m., 6805 South Point Parkway.
Text Guggen to 641-1010 to the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Fair chance for you and a partner to play in this year's Coastal Equipment Guggen Golf Open, May 19th at Hidden Hills Golf Club. Score a hole-in-one and win a 2025 Kubota zero-turn mower from Coastal Equipment. If ET makes the putt, you win lunch at Twin Peaks. Chick-fil-A supplies breakfast and Dandy Food supplies lunch. Thanks to our sponsors, Injury Care Centers and Kingfish Pest Control.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Fantastic news here. Due to overwhelming response, Beers Diamonds extending their amazing earring and bracelet sale for Mother's Day. Hicken here. So now through Mother's Day, you can still save up to 40% off diamond earrings and diamond tennis bracelets. It's Beers' most ambitious offer ever, and response has been incredible. The corporate-owned big box stores can't touch these prices. Beers locally owned, man. Say hi to the Lupos when you go over there. The freedom to give you pricing you deserve. Highest quality diamond jewelry. Celebrate the mothers in your life with something they'll appreciate for decades to come. They also have special pricing on other Mother Day favorites, including colored gemstones, pearls, pendants, and fashion jewelry. Beards Diamonds, your destination for making this Mother's Day truly special. Don't miss Beards Diamonds' biggest sale ever. Up to 40% off Beards' already beatable value price. Now through Mother's Day at the Town Center. Only locally owned jeweler. It's Beards Diamonds.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by TopDressing.com. A while back on the Rich Eisen Show, NFL Hall of Famer Warren Sapp had some extremely high praise for the new Jaguars rookie who Sapp coached at Colorado.
Rich, I called a friend of mine week 2 and I said he's going to win the Heisman. I had never seen anything like it. And I know I was a dog in college. I know I was. Can't touch him. I mean, cover a 9 route, turn around, run a dig, and go all the way to the end zone. Every time he's scoring, play after play. And the joy in his face and just his enthusiasm about the game was just infectious, Rich. I mean, it was sick.
Hunter has been labeled as a unicorn in the game of football for a while, but another common trend that people have spent time around Travis Hunter often touch on is his love and enthusiasm for the game of football. Now, he always carries a contagious, positive attitude. It's 84 degrees at 3:02. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
This is just the best. Just gambling with Coach Campo. That should be a new podcast because we have our Campo and Joe on a regular basis. He comes in here on XL Primetime and he just throws down, okay? He is so ready to gamble. The Kentucky Derby, 151st running of it. We will peer into the horse racing industry for Saturday's action. We'll step back out and then we'll convene again in 2 weeks for the Preakness at Pimlico. But I have talked to my beer buddies, and the best bet at St. Augustine, it will be hopping. That's for sure. And the Burkhart's clan, they will be down there. They've kicked back. Their toes are up, and they're enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to seeing Pete and everyone else down there. So, are you ready for this? This is our own Derby horn.
As ready as I'll ever be.
Do not call. This is our own Derby horn.
Hopefully by the time that plays tomorrow, I'm not down like all of my money. I have something to bet on the actual Derby.
Yeah.
You know, there's 11 undercards.
Oh, yeah. I want to give you a couple of those
Kentucky
when we're done.
Oaks is always very big.
Yeah, the Oaks is today. Yeah. And there's one lottery winner, as I know the boys are listening in the OG. Captain Norman, one lottery winner from back in the day. He's heading there right now, and he wants to lay down his bets for tomorrow while he's betting on the Oaks. So he's all fired up, listening for some of this killer intel that we have. All right, so we drew numbers, and we're coming out post position number 1 in terms of the snake draft, JJ, and we kind of got a feeling where he's going. We don't know for sure, but the snake draft will go JJ, Matt, me, Coach, Leon, Coach, okay? And then we'll snake our way back. All right.
I'm taking journalism.
Yeah, I think you should.
You can't take journalism. You think journalism's fake news.
I do. Well, no, there is still some people doing real journalism out there.
Yeah.
And for them, I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're doing it. And here's the thing. You don't have to.
One for me, is that what you're saying?
Written by Rispoli Umberto.
Yeah, and you don't have to
Rispoli.
have. This is the total combined finish. So even though the last, I think the number 1 favorite has not won a ton at Churchill Downs over recent history, that's for sure. All right, so you are in with journalism. Number 2, Matt Hayes. Who are you going with?
I'm going with American Promise.
Okay, that's a
Bred
good
in
one.
Kentucky, sired by Justify.
Mm-hmm.
Chestnut color.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The owner's BC Stables.
Beautiful. All right, American Promise.
Jockey is Nick Juarez.
Uh-huh.
It's his first Derby.
Oh, okay. I'd be a little worried about that.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. In 9 starts, he's 2-1-1.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. But you want some seat experience when it comes to negotiating the mile.
Also, that's only 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, in 9 starts, he's finished that high.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, the other ones are out of the money, okay? Instead of ITM, it's OTM.
And career earnings, $444,000.
Yeah. It could be OTM or DAL, okay?
Right.
That's also a possibility. Mm-hmm. All right, you've got American Promise. I am going to go with Sandman. Okay.
And can you guys give me the number as well?
That's all you're doing.
17.
All right. Just so I can mark Leon.
American Promise is gate 4.
I don't have numbers.
But you call it out and I'll give him the number. All right, Coach, you go next.
Sandman right now, by the way, is 9-2. So 4.5 to 1 odds.
Yeah. Second betting favorite.
Yeah. So am I?
Yeah, you're up.
With much contemplation and study and talking to some real horsemen. I'm talking Luxor Cafe.
Okay.
Wow, Luxor Cafe is 12 to 1 right now. He's the 7 horse.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Coming out of that middle 7 and 8 posts, pretty good.
I like
5, 7, those are all good.
All right, so Leon now has back-to-back picks.
Yeah, and he's got one that I really want
I'm
bad.
not sure Leon knows how to play this.
This was pretty good, actually.
So he's taking 18 Sovereignty.
Yeah, that's
which
a good
is 9
one.
to 1.
Yeah.
But then he's taking our boy Admire Daytona, who's from Japan. Who's 40 to 1 to 1 out of the 6. So yeah, those are his picks. Now Coach is up.
I mean, who can't admire Daytona? Who doesn't admire Daytona?
Yeah, exactly. From afar. I had no idea that horse was from.
By the way, I went to Daytona for a wedding a couple weeks ago, and I forgot what a dump it was.
It's it has its
terrible,
spots. Okay,
man.
I'm just gonna tell you,
it's gotten worse too.
It has its spots. Okay,
It's gotten way worse.
Yeah,
all right. Coach thanks us for all the time we've taken so he could do the analysis on his next pick.
Well, yeah, and of course, all of my picks have been stolen already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with the next pick. I kind of like this. I just kind of like the name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, right. I'm going with Tiz-tastic.
Okay.
Tiz-tastic. Now, don't ask me anything about him because I don't know.
Yeah, he's at 18 to 1 right now.
Yeah, 14 posts.
Want some info on
Joel
Tiz-tastic?
Rosario's a great.
some info on Tiz-tastic.
Tiz-tastic. I like the name.
Yeah, Joel Rosario is fantastic.
Yeah.
Bred in Kentucky.
Yeah.
The sire's Tiz the Law.
Mm-hmm.
He has a dark bay color. Is what they call it.
Ooh, I like it.
What is that?
I don't know, but that's what they call him. This
don't
trainer, Steve Asmussen. The jockey is Joel. Say this, Joe. Rosario.
Rosario.
Thank
I
you,
like
Chrissy.
him.
I can't roll the L's like
A
Joe.
bay is a type of horse, by the way.
8 starts, 3, 1, and 2.
Hair coat color.
Okay.
Career earnings $8.5 million.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm talking
about. All right, let me come back with my second, and I'll just tell you this. Grande was on my sheet, Gonski. I'm going to go with the horse that was installed when Rodriguez was taken out, Baeza. Okay? And that is coming out of that outside
50-1 right now.
Yeah. It's, no, much better odds than that.
Oh, that's 10:30 this morning.
He's 19-1.
19?
19.
So everybody jumped on him there.
Yeah, just a little bit of a long shot, though.
You want a little info on him?
Yeah. And,
Please.
I'll give you a little info. Okay.
He finished second to journalism at the Santa Anita. That's what's making it
interesting.
And it's surprising that he finished second to Santa Anita, but was not in this Derby field.
All right.
So,
he was bred in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
His color is bay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Sired by
Second bay.
Sired by McKinsey. Price tag is $1.2 million.
Okay.
John Sheriff is the trainer. The jockey is Flavion Pratt. Career earnings $148,000.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Not a whole heck of a lot going on there.
All right, I am going with Burnham Square, who, if you remember, Dick Girardi yesterday telling us that he has DNA connections to American Pharaoh.
He does.
To which one?
American Pharaoh.
Yeah.
So some info here.
Former Triple Crown winner.
On
You
Burnham
ever heard
Square.
of him?
His color also bay, JJ.
So many bay horses.
Bred in Kentucky, sired by Liam's Map. His price tag is homebred. Wow, so he was homebred. Didn't cost anything. All right, trainers Ian Wilkes. Jockey is Brian Hernandez Jr. 1 for 5 in the Derby.
Ooh.
Winning with Mystic Dan in 2024.
Ooh, I wish I'd have known that. I'd have gone with that one. Mystic.
Huh?
Well, the Burnham Square is a good one. I passed over.
3-1-1 in 6 starts.
Yeah, probably going to regret it, but yeah, that's a good one. That's
Career
definitely a
earnings
good
just under $1 million.
one. Okay.
All right, I'm going to go. I got two now, my last two.
Yep.
Citizen Bull, just because he's a Bob Baffert horse.
Yep.
And Publisher, who's 27-1, but I love Irad Ortiz.
You're going all media right now.
I am.
You got journalism, you got
and
publisher.
journalist. By the
All
way,
right.
I'm reading a book right now. Just talked to Matt. It's called Chaos. It's about the Manson murders. Highly recommend.
Ooh.
Chilling.
It is.
Chilling.
And it's not what I thought it was.
All right, so
I'll just say that.
coming back to your third pony.
All right, my third pony is Render Judgment. And I think he's 13-1. Is that right, Joe, right now?
He's 14-1.
14-1.
Who did you
right now.
take?
Render Judgment.
Well, let me just step aside real quick on that one, okay? Because you're going to give him some, but I want to hear.
You want to hear the breakdown on Render Judgment?
Well, no, I want to do this one thing first, though, because whenever we come back,
Because I got a breakdown on him.
I just got through saying I know you're going to give the breakdown, but I just want to say that when we come back, this is a horse that the great Toby Keith owned.
Yes.
And I want whiskey for my men, beer for my horses when we come back. But go ahead.
All right, bred in Kentucky. Sired by Blame. He does have the great Toby Keith connection. The trainers, Kenny McPeak, 1 for 10 in the Derby, winning with Mystic Dan in 2024.
Wow, remember him?
Now, the jockey is Julien Lepreux. He's 0 for 14 in the Derby.
That Pepe Le Pew.
Best finish coming with Classic Empire, 4th in 2017. 1-2-1 in 7 starts. He's won about $250K.
Okay. All right, so now it's down to my third thoroughbred. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, we got to get busy here. And
What the heck am I picking?
I don't know, but
Relax, coach.
I was back and forth on a couple of these, just trying to figure out which one that I wanted. Flying Mohawk was speaking to me for a while. I definitely was thinking about going in that direction, but I'm going to
That's
go
a
with
Jason Worth horse, former baseball player, by the way.
Oh, with that long flowing hair.
I've got a good one for you, Coach. Don't worry.
I'm going to go with Final Gambit.
All right.
I got a good one for you.
Final Gambit's coming out of the
mine
3
down.
post. Okay, that he may get caught inside.
That's already gone.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, coach, you're up. We only got a couple minutes left.
All right, first of all,
Is Sovereignty gone already?
Sovereignty's
Yes,
gone.
yes,
Yeah,
right?
that was
Yeah.
Leon's
That was
first.
Leon's.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
I'll tell you what, I was really locked in on this horse because I got a lot of what this horse has. Citizen Bull.
I already took Citizen Bull.
JJ
I know,
took
that's what I said. I was locked in on him. I got a lot of bull going on here. Okay? But I'm going I'm going back to my northern roots.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
I got a guess on who it is.
No, it's East Avenue.
I knew it.
In New York City.
Nice. Hey, I'll meet you up on East Avenue, all right? That's beautiful. All right, so East Avenue for Coach Leon's last pick.
Leon's last pick, they've all been taken, so I'll just give him the best one odds-wise.
Okay.
Which I think is Cole Battle.
Okay.
27-1.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, we are
Good luck,
all in.
Leon.
We are all in. I love it. I love it. All right.
I got a feeling we're going to be getting some fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the guy who's lost the last two will probably lose this one as well.
And I have faith, and I support him 100%.
Right.
Okay?
Well, I've seen some long shots win this bad boy.
Yeah.
Hey, no
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, Mystic. We can go down the line. There have been definitely some big ones that have popped up. All right, so let's say hello to Neil Brown, West Virginia Mountaineer head coach last year when Wyatt Milan was starting on that offensive line. Let's get a little intel on what you Jaguar fans are getting from a guy who said he will do everything he can to protect Trevor Lawrence.
Jacksonville's home for Florida Gators baseball.
The Gators scuffle with the Gamecocks in Columbia, Florida, South Carolina. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon on 1010 a.m.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, you know, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Foods, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, Hicken here, and every Friday I'll help you put together your sports weekend so you know where you want to go and what you want to do. Watch for Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook, locked down by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Jason, I don't see how a new air conditioner is going to work out for me.
Well, you like air conditioning, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. But a new air conditioner could be expensive.
Well, not if you...
I mean, to save up the money, I probably have to give up my extra hot skim latte every morning. Now I fall asleep during a staff meeting, get volunteered for the summer picnic committee, and end up sitting in the dunk tank all afternoon getting water up my nose.
Okay, look at it this way. Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air & Plumbing puts in a new AC. We hook you up with affordable financing, and you stay cool and comfortable for just $149 a month. Cool?
Cool. I see it now.
Life can be hard on your budget. If you suffer through the heat because of a broken AC you could totally afford to replace, you could visit.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. So whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
The team at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to book your next round of golf with us. At Hidden Hills, we love the game, and we'll provide you with a memorable golf experience at one of the most unique golf courses in North Florida. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of life. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, we had to play a little Toby Keith since he'll be up above. He'll be in one of those paddock areas when they run those thoroughbreds, the Run for the Roses. I'm sure he'll have a little brown water tossed back, but Render Judgment is the thoroughbred that Toby Keith, his family, now owns. So we wish him the best of luck. Let's say hello to Neil Brown. I'm going to ask him right off the jump, is he a horse racing fan or Kentucky Derby fan? But West Virginia head coach a season ago when Wyatt Milam was starting at tackle for those Mountaineers. Coach, thanks for taking the time. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on, and you don't even have to ask. I'm a native Kentuckian, so definitely will be following the most entertaining, fastest, however you want to say it, 2 minutes in sports on Saturday early evening.
It's going to be so much fun. I always love it. I lose money on it, but I don't care. I have a good time. All right, so I think more than anything else, Coach, the thing that everybody is dying to know, Wyatt Milam, just give us an idea of the player they're getting, and then we'll talk about positions and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I think Jacksonville got one of the steals in the draft because you look at Wyatt from a production standpoint, he's had first-round production. And so, he started 3.5 years at tackle for us. His last 2 didn't give up a sack. And if you go back and look at the schedule he played in the last 2 seasons, played 5 first-round draft picks, edge rushers. And you think about it, Abdul Carter goes 3rd in the draft. He didn't give up a sack to him. In either year we played Penn State, back-to-back years. So the Jags fans are getting a guy in the 3rd round that's going to protect Trevor Lawrence for a really long time, and he's been highly productive.
So, Neil, what they're looking at right now, I guess what we think, they haven't said yet, is that he's a guard. But you're saying could he play left tackle at this level?
Here's the thing. I haven't coached, so I'm quick to – I haven't coached in the NFL, so I'm quick. Those guys are experts, and they're there for a reason. And I've got a lot of faith in Liam Cohen Liam and I both graduated from the University of Massachusetts, so
nice.
So we have that in common. I'm just a little bit older than him, and but so where they play him is up to them. He played tackle. I'm up to the belief that you can play somebody at tackle till they prove they can't, and he hasn't proven that he can't play tackle to this point in his career. But he's just a football player. He was. We've had 2 linemen in the previous 2 years. Zach Frazier was a second-round pick to the Steelers. He started all season for the Steelers. Was an all-rookie team player, and then Wyatt Milam, who the Jags obviously drafted. And both of those guys, and I said this about Zach a year ago to the Steelers fans, is I thought he was going to start as a rookie, and I thought he was going to play for a really long time, and he'd eventually be an All-Pro. And the reason I felt like that about Zach was because of the production he had at college versus an extremely tough schedule, and then the fact that he was one of the hardest workers that we had, both on the practice field, in the weight room, and in the classroom, and he was tough. And all those things I said about Zach are absolutely true of Wyatt. He was the hardest worker on our football team. He's the first one in, last one out. Really worked hard in the weight room, on the field, and in the classroom. And so the Jags got a guy that loves football, and he takes it personal, and he's tough. And I think those are all really good characteristics for offensive linemen.
Coach, this is Dave Campo. My feeling on him was that of all the tackles, there were only 2 that I felt that you could say, this guy can move inside. And my thing was how physical his punch was and his anchor. You feel the same way on that?
I do. And I think for him as well, he's a relatively young. He didn't redshirt like a lot of offensive linemen do for us, Coach. And so I think from a physical development, a lot of these guys that go into the league older, physically are at maybe as mature from a weight and from a strength standpoint as they're going to be. I think he's got more growth in him. I think he's going to get stronger, significantly stronger. And there's no question he's going to be able to go inside. The thing to me, because you would know better than I would, but to me the transition when you go inside is about things moving in front of your face. So I always thought about this. The matchups at tackle are harder. The one-on-one matchups are harder. But the game is more difficult because of the line movements, twists, and things like that at guard. So he's going to have to get used. If he plays inside, he's going to have to get used to the things moving across and be able to exchange twists and things like that. But being able to anchor, being able to punch, the physicality of that, he's going to welcome that.
How do you feel? And I agree with you 100%. It looks to me like he's a pretty smart guy, and that's where that comes in. But how is he on the second level, in your opinion, once he gets into space?
He's a great athlete. And this is, Coach, he was, as an 8th grader, he committed to Marshall as a left-handed pitcher.
Wow.
And this is how loyal he is. He stayed committed the whole time. He had everybody in the country, football offer-wise, and he stayed committed to Marshall as a baseball player right up until he committed to us as a football player. And so the athleticism, he's a he can play basketball. Played basketball in high school for a bit too. But you think about the athleticism that goes into pitching. Well, he did that and was really good. Obviously, a Division I prospect as a pitcher as well. And so I say that because he will be able to fit. And there's some really good film. We pulled him a lot. We utilized his athleticism by pulling and doing a lot of tackle trap and things like that, where he got out and ran. We did some pin and pull stuff where he would get out in space. And so fitting on the second level is something I think will be a strength of his.
Hey, Neil, you brought up that he's very loyal. I don't know if you heard Nick on the draft show where he said they tried like three times trying to steal him from you guys.
Yeah. He said it. I'm not going off that.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's a no-win situation for me. So I just
stay out of that. Neil, stay out of that one.
No doubt. it's funny because I'm watching the draft, and I'm excited. Wyatt gets picked, and my phone is going crazy, not because Wyatt got picked, because Coach said that on.
That's beautiful.
And, yeah, but that's funny. But I think this is Wyatt, and one of my best friends in the world, fellow Kentuckian, and I know a couple of you guys know him, John Showalter, who's an avid Jags fan, and that's been tough at some points, you know. Yeah. And so what I told him is, and I mean this, is all Jags fans, they're going to be excited that Wyatt Miles is playing for them, and because he's tough and he's going to work and he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because, like I said, from a production standpoint, if his arms are an inch longer, then the guy's a first-round draft pick, and there's no question about it.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, couple more for Neil Brown. We got to sneak in a Travis Hunter question because you definitely have seen him in the conference. But the other thing I really liked about the stats that came out from you, your offense, and what Wyatt was able to do, Coach, was you guys were up top 10 in running the football. Big 12 isn't known for rushing the football nearly as much as passing. That has to speak volumes about him as being that physical guy we're describing.
Yeah, we led the Power 4 in rushing 2 years ago, and then last season we were in the top 10, and he's a big reason behind that. You know, we game planned to run behind him, and so a lot of those rushing yards and the reason we were up toward the tops in the country against we played a top 20 schedule every year he was here, is because we were running behind him. And I'll say this, I thought the Jags really were bold, and with the new GM and new leadership there, I think it really speaks is anytime you have an opportunity to go get a totally unique football player, and to me that's what Travis Hunter is. He's unique, and I think they have a good plan. You know, I'm paying attention as a fan. I think they have a good plan how they're going to utilize him. But I thought that was one of the more bold decisions in the draft, and I think it's a decision that really shows the Jacksonville faithful kind of how the new regime there in Jacksonville is going to operate, and I think it's easy to get behind them. And I think Travis Hunter is going to be a tremendous player in the National Football League.
Yeah, so you said it. They love hearing that. That's for sure. All right, listen, we're not going to bug you every year to break it down football-wise, but can we bring you back next year to break down the Derby for us? Will you do that?
I can do that. And I'll put a plug in, too, for all your listeners that are getting ready for the Derby, man. I'm just finishing up the new Netflix series. And it's awesome where it's followed last year's Triple Crown.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you're into the Derby and you want to see some of the, and being from Kentucky, so it is well worth it to go. And I've done the Derby at all different levels. I've done it from the infield to the highest levels, and it's one of the best events you can possibly be. And I would encourage you, however you do it, try to get as close to the horses as you can, whether you're just going to a Wednesday race at Gulfstream or you're going to the Derby or Breeders' Cup. They are truly amazing athletes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Amazing.
Massive athletes.
Yes. Yeah. And with ankles that look like basketball players.
Right.
You know, that's the thing that's amazing. But if you're into horse racing, I strongly encourage you to watch the Netflix series.
Well, Coach, plenty of people on the text line love all the intel you're giving them. We appreciate it very much, and hopefully we will be able to catch up again soon.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me.
Thank
you, Neil.
Neil Brown, coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers. I already told Mountaineer Man, round of applause to Mountaineer Man for setting that up. That's a beer for the Mountaineer, and so we got to say thanks to him and to Checkmate Coatings on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. So thanks for
Have you seen a racehorse up close?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. And we would go down to Culver, and then whenever we would go out to Southern California as a kid. Now, some of my great memories are Uncle Max and Uncle Keen at the local track or Santa Anita just saying, "Hey, Joe, which one of these horses you like, man?" And my brother and I would pick out certain horses. We won maybe one race for them, and they kept coming back to us, which one you like? And so we had great times, great memories, but they're just beautiful, beautiful specimens, that's for sure. All right, so let's come back. Let's at least wrap up what Neil said about Wyatt Milam, because I think a lot of fans got to be impressed with the individual that they're getting, and you got to hope this guy comes in and shores up that left guard position. Ezra, look out.
Jacksonville is listening.
Duval, baby.
1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Raise the stakes on excitement at Best Bet, your go-to spot for unbeatable entertainment, with locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. Not a poker pro? No problem. Get in on the casual games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and one-card poker. Hungry? Fuel up your game. We're serving up delicious bites and craft cocktails, and we're open late. For details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet, your go-to spot for a thrilling night.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Everyone seems to be in a time crunch these days. Well, don't forget you can always count on the cold case at Daly's. Always convenient, always cold. Whether it's the king of beers, Natty Light, Stella, or Cigar City, or Goose Island or Bud Light Seltzer, dash into Daly's and grab one to go.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 2nd, 1968, in the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics defeat the Los Angeles Lakers 4-2, winning their 10th NBA championship.
The NBA playoffs are here, and there's no better place to catch the action than Hurricane Grill and Wings. With slam dunk specials like $3.75 Miller Lite drafts, plus fresh, never frozen wings in over 30 flavors, and big screens everywhere. This is your home for all the games. Handcrafted cocktails, bold flavors, big plays. Don't just watch the games, experience them at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators, and Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low fives, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, my takeaway is 2 ounces of your best Kentucky bourbon. Okay? I like Booker's. 2 teaspoons of water, 1 teaspoon powdered sugar, 4 mint leaves.
Got to muddle it down there on
You
the
may
bottom.
not like it, but when in Rome, you're drinking that bad boy.
You know what I like to do?
And tomorrow when the race happens, and you might be at a bar, you got to order a mint julep, man.
All right, I'm just going to jump in on the takeaway, Coach, before you do yours, because
go right ahead.
my breakthrough brother Wombles, who I love, okay, he might be able to secure a little brown water because the official sponsor of the Kentucky Derby, Woodford Reserve,
right,
and he might be able to get one for our little Derby pick contest.
Oh, nice.
Right here, okay?
That'd be great.
Okay, so all I like to do when it comes to that mixture that you just said, I'll take a mint julep, hold the mint. Okay.
I will tell you this: the powdered sugar, JJ, you would think it's not good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It gives it a nice little finish.
Yeah, I just like a block of a rock of ice, and then just
straight bourbon, right?
Just let it just fall
right. That's what a
all
lot
over
of people do. They say, "Oh, I want a mint julep, hold the mint and sugar."
Yeah, just let it fall all over that block of ice.
Right.
All right, Coach.
Yeah. Well, after listening to Neil Brown,
yes,
I don't have that much time left. So I think I'm going to make it my bucket list to get to the Kentucky Derby.
I agree.
I'll tell you that right now because I've always looked at it. You know, it's one of those we talked about. You don't watch anything until there it is and it's tradition and all that. It's kind of like the Masters. You know, I'm gonna find my way over there. I think it's
I've
easier.
Never been there.
I think it's easier to get into Kentucky Derby than it is the Masters.
I think you're right on that.
Apparently, the infield is just legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary.
And so the son-in-law played a concert series, I think it was like 2 nights a couple years ago, leading up to it would have been the Thursday night and then after the Kentucky Oaks. And he said it's just unreal. And so they have a blast because it's a party that builds up Friday into Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And so he said, and so I'm with you. Listen, Coach, we might have to get TLD and the lovely K, get the big hats for them.
Yeah.
And take them right into the paddock area.
Really.
Yeah.
You know how much those big hats cost that the women like, right?
Listen, I'm fat. I'm in Fat City, so I could probably afford it. Just kidding.
That's beautiful. But I want to go back real quick on what Coach Neil Brown, former head coach of West Virginia, now he's on the staff at Texas, and he basically just, when you're talking, all right, every head coach is going to gloss on their former player. Okay, we understand that, but at the same time, you hear this kind of unbridled passion for a guy telling you what kind of player you're going to get, what kind of human being you're going to get.
Yeah.
Now, look, we've seen a lot of guys that have been drafted highly that have come in here, but he mentioned a couple of things. Just the way things go with the measuring at the combine, Coach, you know this, a little bit more measurables here and there. He goes from third to first round stock.
Right.
And so he play hungry now.
Yeah, well, and I felt the same way about when I had Kevin Mathis, the DB that played for me 9 years in the league, was Travis Hunter's coach. And when he was on the Hacker After Dark with us the night of the draft, second night, he said the first thing out of his mouth was when I said, "Oh, we're really excited to have Travis here in Jacksonville," he said, "You ain't seen nothing yet."
Yeah.
And he talked more about who he is as a person than he did about his athletic ability, because you can see the athletic ability. It's that other part that you're not quite sure what you're getting.
And look, we've had fun. We've heard the phrase "intangibly rich" a bunch, and all I know is I like what I've seen to go along with the words that have been said. And when you are aggressive, and heck, was the price steep? Was the price a little too rich for some? Yeah, but when you consider there was a system going on here for a while where you were paying for two and getting one, and it wasn't working out. This is a pay for two and get one, and hopefully you hit a home run with it.
Yes.
You get superstar quality, and you can imagine a lot of other offenses out there if you take one receiver out. Even if you take T. Higgins out of the Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow triangle, you don't have the same thing.
Right.
And you can go down the line with a handful of others. Look at what Jordan Addison was doing to help Justin Jefferson last year when Sammy Darnold was having.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Having that extra guy is just
we don't even have to
massive.
talk about the cornerback thing.
Yeah, just this
If
part.
he becomes Justin Jefferson, or
just this
or
part.
for the love of God, Jamar Chase, it's worth the 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
It is. And then you add in the fact that he can come when it's the last drive of the game and he can be a shutdown corner, or if it's the third down, you need to stop.
Right.
He can be that guy out there.
And
he's
on the sidelines chatting it up with the defense, and he says, "I'm seeing this, I'm feeling this, I'm thinking this. I got to get in there for this one." Whatever it is.
Right.
And you can say that in meeting rooms, one side of the ball, and you might be able to jump in on this, Coach. One side of the ball is going to want to dominate his time, instruction-wise or coaching-wise. I'm sure they're going to have a tough time handling that, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I said this earlier. I think on our show, on our pod, they would not have made that decision if they didn't have a plan already in place.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they want to do. Now, it will depend, obviously, on how it goes in camp and how the kid's mentally picking everything up and all those things. But I believe they have a plan. And to me, it's more of a mental thing. Physically, I really think a kid could play both ways physically. Not necessarily him. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
But it's the mental part of learning the stuff, but also coming off the field. The best thing about the NFL coaches are they can adjust.
Right.
And so, they see something. He's on offense. They punt. When he comes to the sideline, there's a lot of things that go on that sideline about what's going to happen in the next series.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing, is making sure that they can get adjustments to him.
Yeah.
And that's why I see it as being a receiver, and then he's in spots on defense so that he can get the adjustments he needs on that side of the ball.
And I'll pull it up for next week, but the number of rookie starters that are at least starting one game in a year after they've been drafted, you're seeing the uptick. Because what we all say, if you draft them in the top 3, top 4 rounds, they're playing. Now, they may not start immediately, but they are going to be looked at
but
and counted on.
Also, to be fair to players now these days, is a lot of them, as compared to 10, 15 years ago, the football IQ is way higher now than it was 10 to 15 years ago.
Better coaches.
Better
coming
coaches.
Up the ladder.
Yeah,
no
and the
question.
amount of
Beginning in high school, too.
Absolutely.
Middle school.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
It's
saying. But
crazy.
if you have players now that get the game, that understand between the ears, understand the game, it's so much easier to get them when they get to the highest level to just say, all right, we're doing this.
Right.
And they're like, okay.
And there's pluses and minuses to get.
There's still some that don't know what the hell they're doing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but there's pluses and minuses to get kids to drill down on one sport. And I got all sorts of thoughts on that. I don't think you should, but we know plenty do.
Right.
But at least if the good ones, the special ones, or however you want to describe them, they're playing that sport from the jump.
Right.
From 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever, all the way through. And so they're seasoned. They've seen a hell of a lot, and they're ready to go.
Yep.
And so that's that type of player is the type of player you're looking for.
Imagine if he didn't spend his first year at Jackson State and we got to watch 3 years of major college football with Travis Hunter.
Well, I love it. This guy's gone from Jackson State to Jacksonville, and he's ready to be a star. And that's a guy that
should have been a Knoll.
Yeah, he said no to Norvell, said no to the Knolls, and shocked everybody.
Right.
Signing day. How far back are we going? It's 21, 22?
I don't know, but imagine him with Jordan Travis.
Yes.
You kidding me?
Yes. And what might have been if you go back to their undefeated run in 23.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so he said no to them and yes to Dion, and he has not looked back. Speaking of guys who never look back.
No.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
The embedded and shredded knows how to forge ahead, look forward to things. But the only thing he is looking back on, I did hear him yesterday on the Friends show. He's replayed that, actually 2 days ago. He's replayed some portions of that Gator basketball run.
They won again, Joe. Yeah. They won again.
Another natty.
Another one.
Which you absolutely have to.
April was a month of euphoria.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It was incredible.
Jag Gator. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it's amazing to win any kind of title.
Yeah.
But to win a title where you weren't really heavily hyped going into the season, you were down countless times in the NCAA tournament and was able to pull it out. I don't know that I'll ever have a better experience as a fan than that run.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see like Will Richard and Elijah Martin graduating. They're having commencement in Gainesville and things like that. And hopefully those guys will have great professional careers. Yeah. But just the other thing, they were just such a great, lovable team.
Yeah.
Tough, great guys, just fantastic ambassadors.
So they did the top plays of April. Elijah Martin was one of them on SportsCenter. And I'm thinking after watching Jalen Brunson last night, everyone wants a comp on Walt. Walt's an inch taller than Jalen Brunson. They're both thick cats that can run and shoot. And Brunson is having himself in April now into May.
I really hope, I'm not an NBA. I used to really follow the NBA as a kid, and I've gotten way far away from it in the last 15 years. But if Walter Clayton becomes a Magic player, I will definitely start watching the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And particularly since it seems like he's exactly what they need. I mean, to hear Hacker talk about it, and read stories about the Magic. I mean, they've got everything except shooting.
Yeah.
Well, then draft him.
Well, I'll tell you what, at the end, before that game, I said, just get the ball. They were saying, I don't know if we can win that game and this and that here. And I said, just get the ball to Clayton down the stretch. Yeah. And you got a great shot. He's unbelievable.
He was unreal. All right, my brother, what is coming up?
Yeah, so Frank is out again today. He'll be back on Monday. But Hacker will be in with us, so we'll have a lot of fun. JJ, myself, and Hacker. We're going to talk NFL with Pete Prisco at 5. But we're going to start things off with, Greg Popovich retiring really got me today. He was 76, but for me, he's like the last bastion of the great coaches from when I was a kid. Like when he got that job, I was a sophomore in college. And so we're going to kind of talk about it. Who are the top 10 coaches in all of sports right now? Because I don't think we've ever seen it as depleted when you think of the greats that have walked away in the last 3 years. And I'm kind of half counting Belichick, even though he's still active. But just like Saban, Krzyzewski, Boeheim, Popovich. I mean, so we're going to kind of talk about coaching and can you still be a great coach in society? With the way society and sports has changed, can you still do you still have the ability to do that? So Well, it should be a fun Frangie show. Hopefully people will enjoy it all coming up. But yeah, Pete Prisco at 5 talking Jags and all things NFL.
All right, my brother.
Thank
We're
you,
looking
guys.
forward to it. Hayes Carline, Hacker Nation, JJ, they're all in here. We say thanks to Florida Home AC. Don't forget, check them out, the official AC partner of the Jags. Coach, thank you for hanging out with us.
You got it.
Joe C, Maddie, and JJ.